Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about how to care for amaryllis after it's done blooming. Amaryllis is having a really big moment this year. We're seeing more and more colors, more and more trends coming out, and different arrangements being made by a number of different growers and creators. There's a lot of information on YouTube all about amaryllis because there's pink, there's orange, there's red, there's yellow, there is white, you name it. There is every shade of amaryllis out there available to you. You can buy them at the grocery stores. You can get them at the big box stores. You can order them from the different retailers or resellers online. You name it. And you can carry it over from season to season easily with a few simple techniques to help it survive through the season to get it to rebloom again. But have you considered green amaryllis? Well, let me show you my green, and then we're going to dive into this video and I'm going to show you how to care for your amaryllis when it's done blooming. Here is a picture of what I'm talking about. This is considered a green amaryllis. This is magic green. This is fairly new. I have found this at the greenhouses, and I want to show you what it looks like before we dig in on how to care for these after they're done blooming. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this color. I think it's pretty striking. Let's see if the actual flowers match the photo on the package first. Isn't this cool? Here is the photo right here of what the green magic looks like. And then here is the real thing. Can you tell that's an actual photo beside that bloom? Pretty crazy, hey? And what a striking color combination. If you like chartreuse green, then this is the plant for you. I think they're absolutely stunning in their striking appearance and their color combination. Now let's talk about how do you care for these after they're done blooming. When your plant is done blooming, and sadly it will finish blooming and that will be it for the season, the blooms will dry up on your plant. So all these beautiful flowers up here that we're seeing, these will all dry up and fall off. And then that's when the fun begins. So what you want to do here is you want to go into this plant and go deep down into this stem, and you want to cut off the stem that had the flowers on it about an inch above the bulb. Do not cut these leaves off. These leaves are necessary to absorb the energy from the sun when you put this plant outside. You only want to put this plant outside after all danger of frost is done because they're tender and you will freeze them. So beware of that with these bulbs. Next thing you want to do is start fertilizing with a good all-purpose fertilizer once to twice a month. And I recommend that you water these from the bottom. Now, if you grew your amaryllis in a glass jar with water, then you want to take that before you put it outside and plant it in a pot of soil that is well drained with some perlite in it to help it grow roots and for the bulb to develop and gather that energy. You can't do that in a glass of water. So you want to move it to a pot with good, well-drained potting soil. And once again, once all danger of frost and everything's passed, then you're going to start feeding it once to twice a month, and you're going to leave it out there. Now, there's some planning that has to come into play when you grow these for the second rebloom. You want to make sure that they get a cooling period for 2 to 5 months. And for myself, I would err on the 5-month side of things just to make sure that we're going to get these blooms again. Because have you ever seen or bought an amaryllis that all you get is leaves and you don't get the stem? They didn't have a long enough cooling off period. So that is key to get them to rebloom. So if you count 5 months back from the time you want it to bloom, and remember, we see these in the stores usually in the early November, December timeframe. So they've already had their cooling off period 2 to 5 months prior to being shipped to that store to be sold, okay, so that they're ready to start growing. So think about that in your planning. So for me, myself, I would be looking at probably pulling these into a cool, dark, dry place like a basement at about 55 degrees in around the July time frame to get it started to grow by the November, December timeframe. So July, August, September, October, that's about right. That's 4 months right there. And then we should be successful when we pot these up again and give them new soil because they're going to need some nutrients. They should grow and they should do very well and you should have blooms again. And that is the key. Now, I should mention here too that if you put this in a dark, dry place like a basement, be prepared for all these leaves and everything to die off and it'll shrivel up like a dead plant. But that bulb is still alive, but it's dormant and resting, and it needs that because it has all that energy in it and it needs that for the new growth. So that is the key. So don't be scared if you see all your leaves dry up on it. Now, another reason I want to mention about potting this up when you bring it inside for its cooling period is if there's any bugs or anything in that soil, by giving it fresh potting soil, you're reducing the chance of bringing some of that inside and potentially infecting your other plants. Now, yes, potting soils have gnats and things in them sometimes. However, if you water from the bottom with these plants, you most likely won't get an infestation. You may not even see very few gnats come into your house. So that's why I recommend that. Plus they get all the extra nutrients from the soil. So those are the key steps to be successful getting an amaryllis to rebloom next year. So I recommend giving it a try. This is one of the easiest holiday plants that is a bulb to carry over from year to year and have more blooms. And you can build a collection of them because they're so small, they're easy to store. Doesn't matter if you live in a house, an apartment, condo, this is a plant that is the easiest to maintain because you get a break from looking after it for 2 to 5 months and it rewards you with blooms. And as that bulb gets bigger, you may even get more stems, meaning more blooms. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you'll seek out the Magic Green Amaryllis and give it a go if you like those colors. If not, there's a ton of other colors, as I showed earlier, that you can enjoy. So thank you, everyone. Bye.